Hey everyone, this is the starting position of the Nimzo-Indian defense. Now the Nimzo-Indian defense is so extensive and there's a name for each move and so there's hundreds of different variations. No one can learn them all, so perhaps that's a way of humans to remember them, to give a name after some grandmaster to each possible move that white or black has in a specific position. But I also think that by doing that we create too much information and make it more difficult for people to play chess, to remember lines, to enjoy the game, and that's not really needed in my opinion. We should, on the contrary, lessen the information. We should reduce information on openings so that we would simplify the knowledge that we have on openings. So I'm just gonna show some basic fourth moves for white, and just from the point of view of like like educative purposes, to kind of to know the beginning of Nimzo-Indian defense, like what's happening, what are the family variations that have these several baby variations that are perhaps not so important to know, but the root variations are important. For example, the name Nimzo-Indian defense, everyone knows that, but does everyone know Rubinstein system? Does everyone know what's the system called after black castles, white plays bishop d3, black plays d5, knight f3, c5, and white castles, and of the 5 different variations that can arise from that? And is it even important to know? So I'm just gonna show, for example, e3. It's called the Rubinstein system. This is the most common way to fight the Nimzo-Indian defense. And here black can play, for example, castles, d5, knight f3, c5, and castles. Or black can play c5 here, or he can play b6 here, which was favored by Nimzovich, and this b6 can also be seen in other variations. If black plays d5, maybe c5 also, exchanges here, maybe here, then he can play b6, queen c7. We can see the same moves repeat in each variation, and often there's only a difference of move order. So if you kind of know what goes in this opening and what doesn't, then you can improvise and perhaps you will get your own variation with the name on it one day, which I wouldn't like, because then I would have to learn one more variation. White can also play queen c2, which is called the classical variation, or knight f3, that's called Kasparov variation. White can also play f3, which hasn't been very popular, perhaps to counter this bishop, create a strong center. Perhaps the idea is to castle queenside. Also, white can play bishop g5, which is the Leningrad variation, similar to the one in Queen's Gambit Declined, I guess. Don't quote me on that. He can play a3, which is the same-ish variation, or g3, fianchetto variation, or queen b3, the Spielmann variation, or e4, which is Dilworth gambit. Black essentially played bishop b4 to stop e4, so and also to be ready to give up the bishop pair in order to ruin white's pawn structure possibly, and yeah, just enhance the control on the light squares. So also white can just play bishop d2 or queen d3, the Mykonos variation, which can leave the queen a little bit vulnerable on d3. But these are the fourth moves of white, and as you can see, those are pretty much the only all of the legal moves. So Nimzovic's defense is such that has so many possibilities because the pawns haven't clashed together, so it's a very flexible opening, and one of the most respected openings for black against d4 on all levels. And I suggest if you want to play the Nimzo-Indian, then you choose one, or actually it's difficult for black to choose one variation because usually white chooses the course of the game. So if you're black, you have to learn really all of the possible things that white can do, and then choose your pet variation to all of those, and develop and cultivate those variations. So good luck with that. Thanks for watching.